So we are back with the School of Affluence. It's the gift that keeps on giving. This lady here, her name is actually Anna B or Anna Bay. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And she's going to tell us why it is that women should never pay for a man, ever. Let's take a look.
If you're a loyal follower, you know where I stand with my feminism aspect, but if you are a newcomer, you have to understand one thing. I am a traditional feminism who believes that the man has a role and is not currently fulfilling his role in society. Instead, although I'm a big feminist and I support the feminist journey that has been going on, but I believe that feminism has started to take a direction that is no longer beneficial for the woman.
All right, so what does she say here? She says that she's a traditional feminist. What that means, and the truth of what that is it means everything that a modern day feminist believes, except one exception. A woman can and should probably stay at home and let a man take care of her financially. A man should be giving her money. She can be a housewife, she can be a mother, stay-at-home mom, whatever. Whereas the modern day feminists would say, no, that's wrong. You have to be out there slaying queen. Slay queen. That's the only difference between the two. And right here she says feminism today is serving men more than it's serving women. In a way, yes. On the sexual marketplace value, it is serving men better because they don't have to commit to anything. They can just get all of the intimacy they want and need without settling for one woman and without having to, put out a lot of money and disrupt their life very much to get that. That is the only way in which modern feminism is serving men. That is it. And every other way is hurting men because jobs used to pay more before feminism. You could live in a one-income family. It was fine. You had enough money. But then women came along and said, hey, I'll do that same job. I'll do the same job that he's doing, only I'll do it for less. I'll do it for 25% less than he's doing it. So that started lowering all of the wages. Not just women's wages, but men's wages came down as well. By the way, if you like my content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel. So any support you give me is greatly appreciated. And thanks in advance for watching my video.
For the woman. It has been, and thank God for those times, but it's going to an extreme now that is no longer beneficial for women.
Technically, even though I just said that it is benefiting women, technically feminism has never really benefited women. It's been an illusion. It's given them all of these extra privileges without giving them any extra responsibilities, but this has caused society to start to collapse. And that's a whole video in and of itself, so a whole video series in and of itself. She says here, we currently live in patriarchy, a society created for men by men. No, that's not true. We live in a matriarchy, a society created for women by women. And that is evidenced by the fact that women, you're not allowed to say anything bad about them. You can't say a thing that is wrong and that's negative about women without getting in trouble. You're a sexist, you're a misogynist if you say anything that is negative about women. Furthermore, women don't have the responsibilities that men have, yet they have more rights than men do. How does that work out? Women have more rights than men, yet they don't have any responsibilities, and somehow this is a world created for men by men.
Listen, ladies, they are so spoiled by society. Society, and with society I mean everybody. Women, men, society is spoiling men. So what's happening now that instead of men offloading the shoulders of women, because don't forget, women, we carry a lot of hats, we have a lot of...
Okay, so she's talking about how men are spoiled, but yeah, I don't see anybody paying a man's way. It's all paying a woman's way. If I go on a date, who pays? That's all you have to do is ask that one question. If I go on a date, who pays? Yeah, down here at the bottom she says women are biologically forced to carry more hats in society than men. Oh, that's biological, but it's in society? Well, if it's biological, isn't it outside of society? Isn't it independent of society? I mean, that would seem to make sense to me. So you're not making any sense. What I think you're trying to say here when you say it's biologically forced to carry more hats than men is you have to be the mother because you have to carry a child, plus you have to work, plus you have to clean the house, plus you have to do this, plus you have to do that. There's no this and that. There's no this and that. You just think there's a this and that. So Yes, you have to have children. Now, you women decided they wanted to work. Men didn't say, "Hey, you go to work." It was perfectly fine with men being the primary workers for the 1960s. Everything worked fine. So I don't know why you're complaining about what you asked for.
Duties, much more duties than men have. So instead of men helping us to offload, women are now offloading men.
That's not genius, and it's not true. Does my wife do more of the cleaning around our apartment here? Yes, she does. She cleans more than I do. Does she cook more than I do? Maybe. It's about the same. I think we both kind of cook the same. Okay, so she does more of the cleaning. Well, that's not fair. That's totally not fair. She does the lion's share. No, because I take care of all of the insurance except for her private health insurance because uh, getting her onto my work insurance is super expensive. So she's went with her own plan. Take care of all of that insurance. I take care of all of the registration for the vehicles. I take care of making sure that the vehicles are running. Most of the maintenance is taken care of by me. So yeah, there are things that she does and things that I do. It's split, and I know that this Anna here, she doesn't understand that men actually do stuff that she's completely unaware of. Like she probably doesn't even know that a car needs to have its oil changed. I would not be surprised, one bit. And it's up to the man usually to go, oh yeah, the car needs to be taken care of. You want to be able to drive around and spend my money?
So what's happening in society and is that women are offloading 50% of the financial load in the household or in the relationship or in general.
So I'm not sure what she's talking about. Today's society that is ruled by men. No, it's ruled by women because you're not allowed to criticize women. So therefore it's ruled by them. Create a version of feminism that is of benefit to men instead of women. We already talked about that. And then she's talking about how there's 50% offload for the finances.
Or in general in society, although women have much more expenses than men, much more responsibility than men, and many more hats to carry than men.
Okay, we just talked about this. So you don't. And women spend 50% more on their appearance than men. Yeah, on average, their salary is always lower compared to men. This is not true. Let's tackle the salary part first. So the salary being lower than men, they've done the studies and determined that the difference in salary is almost eliminated when you account for amount of time spent at work, education, and number of years spent at the same job. That when you account for all those things, that difference in wage narrows to about 5 cents. And I will tell you this in my own personal experience, that 5 cents difference comes from situations like this. I used to wait tables, and my experience waiting tables was that the men claim their tips, and the women only claim about 50 to 60% of their tips. So it looks like women are actually making less on tips, but they're not. They're actually making the same. They're just claiming less. So that's where that sort of thing is where this extra 5 cent gap comes from. Now, you're spending 50% more on your appearance. Well, how come every woman I ever talk to complains to me about how smart she is being a woman in buying women's clothes that are so much less expensive than men's clothes? Like, they cost 10% what a man's clothes do, is what they keep telling me. Furthermore, I spend money on my appearance. You think that I don't spend any money on my appearance? Well, obviously, she says I only spend 50% more. Really? Well, nobody asked you to put on makeup. I don't want to see you with makeup on. In fact, if that would be the only thing. Because I've already talked about this in other videos where you have, hair. She gets her hair styled. Oh, it cost me, X number of dollars to get my hair styled. Well, it costs me less, yes, but I go way more frequently. I go to get my hair done every month, whereas my wife goes once a year. It costs her 3 times as much as it costs me for one visit. I go do this 12 times a year where she only does it once. So yeah, it costs her more for one visit, but she's only doing one visit a year.
To carry than men. Ladies, you know that we are responsible for many more things for biological reasons. our brain is wired in a more complex way in terms of things that we intuitively think about. It has to do with children, with nurturing community and relationships and building relationships, forming relationships, and so on. Men don't have the same capacity in terms of brain structure to think in those lines that women do. No matter how the society says that, yes, but actually men are now also helping women 50-50 with the children and with the relationships and with community building and household and so on. Well, we all know that is not true. We all
Really? So how many children do you have? I mean, I want to see the evidence of all this. You make all these claims, and you don't bring up any statistics or anything. You don't even go, look, this is what happens in my relationship. You don't bring up, look, this is my friend doing this. This is what's happening in my family. Nothing. You don't have any anecdotes. You're just saying, oh, this is all true. It's just true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. Show me some examples. Show me some evidence.
know that even though a man is trying his hardest to pull in as much load as a woman does, he still can switch off his brain and not think about what's happening in the kitchen or with the kids or this and that. He still can just be very simple-minded and very kind of what's happening right here, right now. But
Yes, you know how men's brains work. You're a man. You understand that we don't think about anything other than what we're thinking about at that very moment. I have no other worries in the world other than making this video right now, right?
a woman doesn't have that. She's built differently. And this is what's so unfair, that she has to carry so many different burdens, so many different hats. She has to have many roles now in society, at home, at work, in the relationships and so on, while the man is very comfortable. He's sorted. He is just doing one thing at a time.
Yep, I only ever think about one thing at a time. Women now support men financially, while men don't support women biologically. Whose fault is that again? Who was crying about it? We need to have jobs and make equal pay. Who was the one crying about that? Everything was working fine. Everything was working fine. And then you had to complain about it because it wasn't good enough for you.
Most often though, ladies, okay, let's really be realistic here. Most of the times, men and women, they go 50-50, yet the woman is the one who is taking care of the kids, running the household, running the relationship, building the community with networking and socializing and friendships and society, whatever it is, obligations. And the man only has one role, and that is go to work.
Yeah, you're right. It's so terrible for you. Like, so let's say we roll the clock back and we go back to when you were staying at home, taking care of the children, taking care of the household, building relationships. So you didn't have a job. A man did have a job. And what did that job involve often? Dangerous, painful, and deadly work. But no, that's not enough. He needs to have equal number of duties to take care of. And then you add on, you're complaining about how, oh, it's not right that I can't get a job and make the same amount of money that you make because I'm a girl. So we say, okay, you can get a job and make the same amount of money as us. And then that's another burden added on to you because you didn't think you had enough burdens before. But now you're thinking, men need to step up and they need to do stuff for us. They're not doing stuff for us. That's why you have to pay. That's why you have to pay us. That's what this video is all about why she's never going to pay for a man because, oh, men aren't supporting me biologically, so that's not fair.
And then after work, he eats his food that his woman has cooked for him, or he goes and does his things that he's used to doing while the woman is doing everything that she's obliged to do. So for this reason, ladies, yes, the society is very unfair towards women. I do not call this fair feminism at all. That's why
She's going to say she's a traditional feminist. She refuses to pay for the company of a man. The money I make is mine. The money my partner makes is ours. Down here at the bottom, that's what it says. No, that's not a partnership. The money you make is yours, and the money he makes is his. If you don't like it, don't get into a relationship. I'm going to tell you right now that Anna here, she doesn't have a man. She doesn't have a man.
traditional feminist, because I know that back in the days, although there was a lot of things that were not in favor for women, but a lot of things were actually in favor for women. the fact that the man was the provider and the woman didn't have to stress whether she was forced to work or not.
So, Anna here has an Instagram. Let's take a look at it. NMB, Anna Bay, whatever. School of Affluence, a diploma in international etiquette and protocol. Certified image consultant, teaching modern elegance here. This is a bunch of pictures of her. Well, let's go and see, her relationship with her man, with her children. See how this is working out for her. Okay, so she's going around to all these exotic places and posing for pictures. All right. Maybe that's her. Maybe that's her man. That woman there. Maybe that's her man. She's got a woman there too. I think this is just a photographer. Okay. I'm not seeing a whole lot of men here. Oh, there's a man right there. Oh, yeah, I've already clicked on this video. She says it's a dear friend. You can go to her Instagram page and look for yourself if you don't believe me. I'll leave a link to the video in the description. This is I think it's some financial coach, and he apparently agrees with her. That's all. It's just a video of him agreeing with her. So far, I'm not seeing any men. These are all pictures of her, being elegant in these exotic locations. And I see that men are jumping all over the opportunity to be with her. They just can't wait to get up next to a woman who thinks that it's his duty to take care of her, lock, stock, and barrel, where she has to do nothing. Even though she says she's supposed to be out building these social relations, I don't see a whole lot of social relationships going on here. She has some women. Here's a couple of women. Here's one here in these pictures, but mostly it's just a single picture of her. Nobody else with her. So she's not building social relations. Nobody wants to be friends with her because she's too high strung. It's fine. If you want to pursue this life of elegance, go ahead and pursue it. It's not something that I would fit into. That's Steve Harvey. If you don't know who that is, he's a famous actor, comedian, talk show host. He has his own talk show here in the United States. So this is another TV thing that they did. You can go here and click on these. This is obviously a TV thing. This was another TV thing. So these men are just TV hosts. They're not her men. So I'm not seeing any children. I'm not seeing any men in her life. It looks to me like she is failing at this life that she says is so great. If you just want to be photoed, yep, that's it, in these exotic places, looking elegant and oh so charming, looking like a model in these elegant places, okay, fine. But how come you have a business dedicated to this is how you get men? This is the kind of woman you need to be to get a man who is going to let you be elegant, and that's going to be fabulous and wonderful. No, you're full of garbage. You're not going to get what you want out of life having this attitude. It's fine if you want to go find a wealthy man and then have him support you. That is one thing. Don't go spouting about how that's what you want all over the internet, all over the whole world to see. She has 252,000 followers. Ladies who are following her, you are not going to get what you want if you follow this woman's advice. You're not going to get into a good relationship. This woman is looking for an easy paycheck, okay? And she's getting it from you, from her followers, on top of which she's getting it from these men who will take her out and buy her dinner and stuff, who she's not going to pay for. If you want to meet me as equals, if you want to meet me as an equal, then you have to prove that you can bring a financial support to the relationship. Now, does that mean that you have to bring a financial support to the relationship? No, but you have to prove that you're willing to bring that if you can. And you have to prove that you're going to be a willing partner to me, that we're going to be meeting as equals instead of you being a little princess. Men see this. Men see this coming a mile away. You're not a princess. You're a human being. We don't have aristocracy in this country. We don't have aristocracy in most places in the West anymore. And if we do, they're just symbols. They're not real. They don't have any real power. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Hopefully I'll have something that is a little bit more interesting than this crazy feminist chick.